Alrighty. So y'all already seen from the title. About to it might be a quick stream. Might just go get the college football segment out the way. Daily live always. Yeah. Remember I am currently live. You probably not want to see this. I'm live every Thursday, 8 p.m. EST. So Call of Duty is dropping possibly today midnight. It's currently Thursday, the 13th. It's supposed to drop the 14th, so it might be jumping out the coming out this midnight. So we'll see. I'm still unsure myself. So if BO7 do go live at midnight, I'm gonna spark up again. But till then, it's gonna be a quick stream because I'm about to help my guy. Honestly, I need to help myself set up my Call of Duty. I need to update my BIOS and help one of my mans with OBS. So yeah, so just gonna be a quick stream. We're just gonna do this segment and then I'll probably just wrap it up there. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in with the boys. Alrighty. Just to confirm that both scenes is working properly. Alrighty, spark us off whenever.
Welcome to the Block Sit Down. This is the 1 Foot In podcast where we take a 1 foot in to the college football realm, the college football world. And today is the pregame pod for week 12 of the college football regular season. We're going to go over the college football playoff rankings for the second week in a row. This is the second rankings, and we just try to see what the committee thinks of these teams going into week 12. Then we got a couple games we want to go over. We got some news to talk about, and then we got the one eye on part of the segment where I take y'all into the realm of, I guess, the Power Four, or not, the Group of Five, and then a Power Four, just to get more insight on the college football teams that are looking to try to get the conference championship, try to get the playoffs, and some that are just trying to get to a bowl game, or just some irrelevant teams that are just interesting to watch. But yeah, before we get into that, how was y'all's day?
Man, it was tiring, bro. I had a lot of shit to do today, so I was basically up. So what time I woke up? I woke up at 8 in the morning, and I've been busy since. And we came back home around like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and I basically just took a nap, bro, and I woke up like literally an hour ago, bro. So, yeah, that's really my day. How about you, VJ?
Sounds like a real adult.
I've been up and about. I just made a nice little traditional meal. Iraq would know it. I make a bit.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Want to explain what that is to Cameron?
Yeah, but I say, bro, like,
Yeah, it's basically
inside
like
jokes.
it's like a chicken noodle soup with like rice, like big thick rice noodle soup, and it's like the stock is chicken soup.
I made some seasoned chicken for myself, actually. Y'all wouldn't know anything about that. That's for me to devour. But yeah, y'all ready to get into this college football talk?
Yeah, let's go. Let's jump in. Let's just straight into it.
Jump right into the college football playoff top 25. This is where the committee selects who is 1 through 25. Where do y'all want to start?
Just to start us off, to be honest. Or VJ, unless VJ have someone
Alright.
you want specifically.
I mean, yeah. I know when I first checked it, Tech being at 6.
Yeah.
Again, they rising, man. I saw like a post saying like is the first like is damn near like a red blood fucking top 12, bro. I'm like, yeah, that first 12 is damn just the first 6 really is all red. I'm like, yep, that's fire.
Yeah. Okay, the thing with Texas Tech is I think in the AP and then last week's vote, they were 8th, I think, or 9th, something like that. Then Texas Tech basically jumped like 3 spots. They jumped Oregon, Ole Miss, and obviously BYU dropped because of their loss, but didn't drop too far. They're still in the top 12. Utah's right out there on the 13th. They're still looking to get that Big 12, 3 Big 12 teams in potentially. But yeah, the first 5 is unfazed. Texas Tech right there, Ole Miss, Oregon, and then Notre Dame. You got Notre Dame right there at 9. And then you go all the way down to 14th. You got Vanderbilt, Miami. Miami was, I think, 18th last week. They jumped all the way to 15th, and then right below them, you got Georgia Tech, USC. USC rises with their win. And then Michigan 18. I don't think much has changed with them. Maybe go up one spot. But then you got back-to-back ACC teams that took losses and they're kind of just there. In Virginia and Louisville, Miami being the highest seeded ACC team at this moment, or highest ranked team at this moment, and they don't have a shot at the ACC championship, which is very interesting because if Duke, which is a 4-loss team, one conference loss, and if they're able to go to the ACC championship and win the ACC championship, then that might leave ACC out of an automatic bid in the playoffs. What does that mean? The top 5 conference championships ranked gets an automatic bid into the playoffs. What does that mean? Well, Big 10, SEC, and Big 12 are more than likely gonna take them top 3 spots. But you got a James Madison, JMU, who has 1 loss, could win the Sun Belt. And then you got USF, the South Florida team. They're at 24 right now. If they win their conference, the American Conference, that means that's the 5 highest ranked ACC or highest ranked conference champions. The 6 would be then ACC probably. And then that would be Duke at 4 losses. A 4-loss Duke isn't going to get it done. But what that means is if Duke wins out and if some things happen where Louisville, Virginia continue to lose, and a couple other teams just don't handle their business, then Duke jumps right in there, takes the ACC championship, and then now ACC doesn't have an automatic bid in the playoffs, which is kind of crazy, bro. I do think it would be an argument if Miami does win out. Would they get in over a Vanderbilt, a Texas, Oklahoma, BYU, Utah? These are all teams that have a very tough game left, or have a chance not to handle business. So I still think it's still a possibility, but just ACC might just only get one team, and that's not even the conference champion. I just think that's very interesting. What do y'all think? Y'all have any thoughts on it?
It's the most funniest shit when I seen it, bro. That was the funniest
shit.
shit.
Power 4 team not getting a conference
Power
champion.
4 not making it is insane, bro. I was like, wow, bro. That's some crazy shit. If that were to come through, that's insane.
And this all depends on the ACC, right? Right. Whatever happened to ACC, or is it dependent on
a lot of it?
Yeah.
A lot of things have to happen.
Yeah,
a lot of things have to happen. JMU, James Madison has to win out,
Okay.
Which I think is very possible for the Sun Belt. And then American, I think it has to be USF.
Okay.
You could throw like a Memphis in there or whatever, but I think whoever wins American automatically gets the bid in there. But yeah, a lot of things are gonna have to like fall in place. There's a lot of 1-loss teams in American, or 1-loss conference teams in American. But it's just funny that Duke has 4 losses and 3 of them coming outside the conference. That's just the funniest shit ever. But yeah, then you got Iowa. Iowa doesn't take a big hit, even though they lost to Oregon this week. I think they might have went back 1 spot. And then you got Pittsburgh. They have a big game coming up this week. Their head coach is already thrown in the towel, it looked like. But we'll get to that later. But they have a chance to win ACC as well. Then Tennessee still ranked, still around, hanging there. Then USF, they're coming out the American potentially, with Memphis losing and Tulane beating them in that matchup last week. USF is now projected to win that conference. And then Cincinnati has a big game coming up next week against BYU. And if they win and then win out and go to the Big 12 championship, they have a chance to still play in and control their own destiny at that point. But yeah, how y'all feel?
College football.
Yeah.
Can't say nothing more. It's college football, man.
Yeah, just wait out, see what happens.
Yeah, I think you could go from maybe 8 to about 16, 17 maybe, where these guys are like the last 3 weeks are most important for these guys because they're on the outside looking in or maybe on the inside looking out. And however the dominoes fall, bro, it's gonna be very telling who gets these at-large bids. And it's going to be a very crazy conversation at the end of the regular season because we're going to have conference losers, conference champions that's already in, but it's going to be the resumes that's going to be really building these teams. And it's just very interesting to see Miami just jump a couple spots and kind of like be right on the outside looking in because Vanderbilt still controls their own destiny. Utah has kind of played their best games, but they can still lose. I just think it's very interesting. And the committee, I think they're really showing their hand at a lot of things. And yeah, that's all I really got for these rankings.
I mean, okay, so we're basically about to jump in this team here. We might even go over it. So obviously, the first matchup we're about to go over is Texas versus Georgia. But so if one of these teams, okay, we're gonna say Texas. If Texas would lose, do they fall out top 12? In your opinion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 3-loss team. Right after this week, yes.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, I like how the committee is doing like the one-on-one wins. Like Texas beat Oklahoma, they can't be below Oklahoma. BYU beat Utah, so they can't be below Utah. It's things like that that I'm gonna be really interested to see if they stick to that by the end of the season when it really comes to it. But yeah, people are arguing if Texas is 3 losses and they beat Texas A&M at the end of the season or beat Georgia this week or lose one of them games, is that a better strength of schedule or a better record or a better resume than Vanderbilt or Utah? Things like that.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask it, like, okay, if the roles were reversed and Georgia was to lose, would they fall out the top 12?
No, they probably wouldn't fall to top 10.
No, they'll probably be like at the edge of 10, 11, 12, somewhere there.
I think everybody would slide up if everybody else was to win. And maybe Notre Dame jumps like a Oregon if they get a ranked matchup win this weekend against Pitt. But Georgia would probably fall up to like 9, and then Texas would be at 8. I feel like that head to head they're gonna put Texas over Georgia for the moment.
Okay. Damn. Yeah, a lot of teams really have their literally their destiny in their hands, bro. I feel like that's a given when you in the college football world, but damn.
But I think the ones that are in right now on the inside looking out, you gotta handle your business. You gotta control that. But it's just kind of like a lot of hope for the teams on like the 15th to 18 realm. You gotta hope a couple of these teams drop out so your resume looks a little bit better. But with that being said, we got 4 games we want to highlight this week. Kind of go over and give our picks, thoughts, and opinions on. We got this SEC matchup, top 10 matchup. Arch Manning, Texas, goes on the road to Athens, to Georgia, and take on the Bulldogs. Gunnar Stockton is looking better every week. Arch Manning looks like he might have found his groove. And now he gets a top 5 team he has to face in Georgia. VJ, how you feel about this?
Ooh. It's an interesting one because Georgia is on a steamroll right now. They're doing their thing. And Texas, they looking better. This is actually going to be a pretty good one, and it's especially on the line for Texas in a sense because this is basically every game from now on for them is do or die, and especially since this arguably won't even be their toughest game left in the schedule, which is insane to say. So it's like you have to win this one essentially, or else you're basically done. Well, a lot of stipulations have to happen, but yeah, a lot of things have to happen, but it's borderline saying you're done if you lose this game. So with Georgia, they heating up, bro. They're stout right now. They're gonna be at where they at probably if they just keep on winning and doing anything, and that's the way it's looking. So I actually really am gonna enjoy this matchup. How about you, Rack?
Yeah, bro. Like when I was coming into this, I was like, damn, which one would I go with? Like, I was definitely low on Texas for a while because they losing to a team that I thought they shouldn't lose, and then the last week they basically look like they are looking like the Texas team that was preseason ranked #1, and it's like damn, but this is Georgia, bro, and you're going to Athens. This is a nighttime game too, so it's like Texas really gotta come out like basically rolling. They can't be making it a close game like off the rip. They got like start off hot immediately, and they got basically just stay ahead by 3 points or a TD against this Georgia, especially away because like I said, Georgia love keeping this game close. And like literally, once they see you slip up, they're gonna take advantage of that, and then all of a sudden the game is out your hand. And then ESPN obviously got Georgia winning this by basically 60%. But yeah, bro. So with Texas, we'll see what they would do. Is Arch Manning gonna have the same game he did last week or whatever? I think that basically last week. Yeah. So I was like,
last outing.
Yep. So gotta see if Arch is is arching out there, bro. Arch Manning out there using that last name, to his, advantage, bro. Cameron.
I don't know if I want to see arching it out there, I suppose. But Gunnar Stockton has looked really good. I feel like he's really like found his targets out there. He's really been like, people call him a game manager. I don't really look at him like that. Like he can make them throws, he protects the ball. I enjoy him. But I think it's come down to the defense, man. I think if the defense can get a lot of pressure on Gunnar Stockton and just have him like not second guessing himself, but just bro, just trying to make Gunner's like I guess like extend the play with his legs to a certain degree. I think that's where Gunner can either make or break. And same thing for Arch. Arch can use his legs as well. But I really want the running game to get going. It's basically C.J. Allen by himself on that defense. But you got Ryan Wingo, you got these big playmakers for Texas, and that's kind of what took Vanderbilt the game early. So it's going to be a very hostile environment night game for Georgia. And last year Texas lost twice to Georgia, bro, in SEC championship, and then in the regular season, this is the only team that Texas lost to in the regular season last year. And Texas got held under 20 points in both of those games. They took fucking Georgia to overtime, 22-19, I think, in the SEC championship game. So this is obviously two different teams now. But I definitely think it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna come down to how aggressive can this pass rush get for Texas, and make Gunnar Stockton's life that much more difficult. But I just got to go with the resumes right now, bro. Arch has done this for 1-2 games maybe. Georgia's been able to just come back, and Gunnar's looked way better than Arch has the whole year. So I'm just gonna take overall film of what I've seen, bro, and I gotta take Georgia in this game. I gotta get like let me get a 31-21 game. And yeah, I don't got much to say, bro. I don't got much to say. That's it. VJ.
Go ahead, right? Oh, okay.
Oh, that don't matter.
Go ahead, right?
Yeah. So I basically said what I wanted to say in the beginning. You just like, if Texas could start out, great and strong and fast and quick, keeping that Georgia at bay, a little by 2 point, like a little score, either that being 10 points or 2 field goal kicks. I mean, even though that's really just 1 TD, but as long as they could just stay ahead just by a little bit, and then just take that all the way through, and just hopefully the defense come out and just keep Georgia at bay, and they could go to Athens and get this upset, I guess, and they're gonna be chilling at what.
It's an upset. Like, why'd you put upset in quotations?
Because
upset.
I mean, it's because Texas technically was the number 1 team, so it's like now they're number 10. So it's like, if they never got
shit right now.
I mean, it's like if they never got that 2 losses, then technically Georgia would be the one upsetting Texas. So it's like, I'm still with the sense of like Texas should be number 1 right now, but since they lost twice, technically they should only lost once, but since they lost twice, I feel like Texas could be ranked a lot higher. Obviously, if they didn't get that second loss, but it is what it is. So it's like, I feel like this Texas team could be very. Obviously, we all know this Texas team should be ranked way higher, but that's just how the season went. So it's like I do quotation mark because like I feel like they should be higher, but they just got that second loss on their resume, and Georgia don't. So yeah. With that being said, I got a score of go with Georgia. At home, 7:30 nighttime game in Athens. They're looking strong. They keep being close, but they pull it through. I feel like I'm gonna keep it. It's gonna be a close game. I got a 27 Georgia and 21 Texas. How about you, VJ?
Okay.
Here we go. There's a reason he wanted to be last.
Nah, it wasn't last. It's just a lot of thinking, because it's like I'm thinking more in how do I think the game can go flow wise, because it's just Georgia's so consistent. They've been so consistent this year, and like especially after that loss to Bama, they basically was just on one, bro, on one. Like they made every game kind of just like Georgia's gonna win this. Like that's how they made it look. Texas has been.
There was a lot of comebacks though.
Yeah, for sure. This is where it's like, but Texas like has been on a roller coaster, so it's like it's hard to determine. I definitely off rip though. I'm definitely gonna choose Georgia. It's just score wise, I didn't know. That's why I wanted to kind of wait it a little bit, think about it a little more. And I'll be honest, I do have Georgia, but it's definitely gonna be a lot closer in my eyes. I think it's gonna be like 31-28, like by a field goal margin.
The thing with Texas is you got the loss with Florida, and I feel like that Florida game was like your first true test of the season. Like after Ohio State, like what are you gonna come out and do? You're gonna take 2 steps back, and then you're gonna go like a couple steps forward, and then you face Vanderbilt. You took the leap, and now you get into Georgia. I feel like they're gonna take a step back. They're gonna get their win, and then go to A&M, and then that's when they're gonna have to take their step up, and that's where you're gonna have 3 losses, and you're gonna have to debate: are we leaving Texas out? It just is what it is. But Georgia, good to note that this is their last SEC game. They got, I think, Charlotte, and then I think they got Georgia Tech. So those are 2 out-of-conference games. So, this kind of like the end of their SEC play, and they basically can just sit after this and just watch how everything plays out and see if their season gets extended. But you can't sleep. You still got to get your wins. But it starts here. I mean, it doesn't really start here because it's week 11, week 12, and shit. But yeah, that's my kind of analysis on the game. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and shit. Now we got another SEC matchup. Interesting game. We got Oklahoma at number 11, 7-2 on the season. John Mateer has been the same. That's what everybody says. But he's going to Alabama. Very toxic place. I think the Boars, damn near undefeated here. Has he lost at home? I don't know. Number 4 in the country. Alabama 8-1, probably in prime position. Not prime position because Texas A&M right above them. But they should be in the SEC championship as long as they can handle business in the coming weeks. And right here, it's very apparent that John Mateer is still not the same person. Whatever the case may be, it is what it is. But I think the biggest factor in this game is going to be, can he use his legs? We know what the Oklahoma defense can get to anybody, bro. And if they can disrupt Ty Simpson as much as I think they can, I think it's going to be a very interesting game. A lot of people don't see it that way. In the rush defense, the run defense for Oklahoma, it's something that Alabama kind of, I think, knows going into this game. Like, hey, we can't run the ball. They're good at stopping the run. So what should we do? Probably just throw it like we've been doing, and that's what we've been finding a lot of success in. Yeah, they got like 5 pass catchers over 250 yards, so that's just how deep their roster goes when it comes to pass catchers. And yeah, health has been a thing because they had like 4 top 10 matchups or ranked matchups in a row. They were able to get through that, get their bye week, and now last week they were able to squeeze that one out at the end for Alabama. And yeah, John Mateer, Satania, Blaylock, whoever you want to call it, this running back group. I think this could be a lot closer than a lot of people seeing that Oklahoma's fighting for the season, similar to Texas. But I think if this win can kind of like solidify Oklahoma as a team that reached their potential finally. Because I feel like they really haven't. They had that loss to Texas, and then their next true test was Ole Miss, but they kept their season alive with a Tennessee win that kind of came out of nowhere. And then you got Alabama, Missouri, and LSU left for Oklahoma. So it's kind of like the last true test, but you can't slip up on the last 2 games. But like I said, it starts here. Take thing, even though we're in week 12. VJ, how you seeing it?
Oh man, I mean, you basically summed up a good majority of it. It's realistically, can that Oklahoma defense do something to that Alabama offense? Because we know the second they start getting that ball thrown around for Alabama, yeah, it's basically fucking
Hot potato.
But it's basically like, oh, now you gotta fucking see if you can stop that now. And yes, this Oklahoma defense is good, but to me, like you just said, the run defense has been phenomenal. When it comes to pass defense, though, it's always been kind of reliant on, can that line get to there? And the Alabama O-line has looked great in pass protection. So it's a mix and match type of thing. I think for sure it's a lot of stipulation on if Bama gets started, they're going to be rolling like a roll tide. I mean, say shit. But if Oklahoma can keep this game gritty, you could see another like Tennessee-like game in a sense where, they might not be getting the numbers they want, but they're keeping it semi-close till they need to take it. So I could definitely see this game being like that. And so Alabama, I won't say it's a must-win, but they're on a streak right now. I think they're still undefeated SEC play, and they're on a roll. But Oklahoma is do or die. We got to see what happens, man. How about you, right?
Yeah, John Mateer, Oklahoma, beginning of the season, we thinking Oklahoma gonna take it all the way. They, Alabama suffered a early this season loss. So it's like the SEC was up wide open damn near, and John Mateer looking strong. Proceeded a couple weeks, he got injured, and then that was basically the turning point for Oklahoma season in the sense of like, damn, well, we gotta see what he looked like when he come out to playing against Texas. He wasn't there. That injury definitely affected him, and we was like, well, there go Oklahoma season. Basically, we'll see if what their end record will be. But after that Tennessee game, John Mateer looked like he's basically back. But they're basically climbing a decent size hole that they're currently what they are in the SEC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. They're 7th in the SEC. So yeah, it's like Alabama, suffered that early season loss, but they haven't looked back since. And 8-1, 6-0 in conference. Alabama seems like they'll just keep rolling. What they're saying, and Luckily for them, I mean, not gonna be lucky for them. It's 3:30 and then Tuscaloosa. Uh, I guess they're lucky that it's not nighttime game, so they somewhat got a chance. But yeah, Oklahoma, we were thinking, in that Texas game, as long as they could keep that defense, keep that offense you know, to a certain extent. But nah, Arch Manning came out playing that game, and Oklahoma defense basically just couldn't do nothing. So that's basically the same thing here. So if Oklahoma won a chance, and my John Mateer just got to come out playing like how he did against Tennessee, could be a close game, but we'll see when that time come on 3:30 p.m. on ABC. How about you, Cameron?
This is a game where I think Oklahoma needs to play more polished. I feel like they need to come out and not look as sloppy as they kind of did with Tennessee. Like the 3-and-outs, the slow drives. Like it's fine to have them long drives, but it's like the slow momentum. I feel like they really need to open the game up. What's that gonna be like? What's that gonna look like? Xavier Robinson, the running back that came out of nowhere and has been getting them good runs and putting up good stat lines in their games to help move the chains. And then John Mateer's legs. Like we had 80 yards last game versus Tennessee. I think that's where he can use his legs. And I think in this defense, Alabama defense, they're gonna have to slow Mateer down as much as possible. And once Satania gets like started, I feel like once that Mateer and Satania connection gets started, I feel like it's very hard to stop it. It's obviously Ty Simpson, Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams. You got all these fucking playmakers for Alabama. But I just feel like it's a lot on the pass rush for Oklahoma's defense and John Mateer's legs on the offense and somewhat of the running game as well for Oklahoma. And I think a lot of people have like settled on this fact that like the top four in the rankings are just the top four. Like it's gonna be the fucking Big Ten champions and runner ups and the big or the SEC conference champion and runner up in the top four. Obviously Texas Tech is on the outside looking in. If they win the Big 12, I think they have a chance to get the top four. But I'm tired of like people thinking that this isn't college football. Anything can happen any week. So I got Oklahoma going on the road and beating Alabama. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. It could obviously go the other way, but I think Ty Simpson. I think I don't know if he's going to struggle. I haven't seen Ty Simpson struggle at all this year, but I think it's definitely going to be a lot harder. Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams is going to have a hard time finding them potentially, but I think it's going to be a 38-34 Oklahoma victory. I think finally Oklahoma kind of like has that Mateer moment where he can come back and not be in Heisman conversations, but be looked at as a good team. They were ranked very high at the start of the year and in the middle of the year before that injury. Top 10, I think it was like 6 or something like that, man. VJ.
Ooh, I love it. That's a great score. I can see it. However, my heart lies in Alabama on this one, I'll be honest. But I do agree with you on one thing. I do believe this is a high-scoring game. I do see a red-on-red type of shootout. And for me, I take Alabama 45-35.
Damn. All right. I'm gonna keep it. My score is gonna be a little bit lower. I'm in the 30 range. I'm not up there. So with that being said, I got Alabama too. I just feel like Ty Simpson and on his Heisman candidate, he just gonna keep going. And Oklahoma is they're gonna try to hang in there, but they in Tuscaloosa and they're gonna pull it through. With that being said, I got the score being 35 Alabama and 20. I'll give it 27 to Oklahoma.
I think something I want y'all to look at during the game. If this Alabama run game can't happen, which I don't think it's going to be able to, and they force Ty Simpson to drop back and throw as many times as I think he's gonna have to throw, are they gonna be able to get it done over the air? Alabama has done that time and time again, but I feel like this is a different run defense that they have faced, and I think if they just continue to force Ty Simpson to throw it, will the opportunities for the run be able to happen, or are they gonna have to rely too heavily on the pass game? That's what I think is gonna be one of them key factors, as many as key factors if I have it during this game. I think that's one of the bigger ones for Alabama at least. Moving on, we got a little ranked Big Ten matchup. Wow, I feel like we've had limited amounts of these, mostly because the team out in Pennsylvania has been very ass. And we've got Indiana, we got the Indianas, we got the Ohio States, but we got some new foes coming in that are gonna be ranked 21. Iowa, the Hawkeyes, had that grueling game last week. It was a sluggish game. It was a fucking rainy game. It was defense. They're going to have to go against a high-powered USC offense at number 17. They're going to the Trojans side of things. And I heard it's going to be a rainy game. I heard it's going to be a heavy rain, as one would say, and it might be a similar game to last week. And yeah, you got the Iowa Hawkeyes. It was a very run heavy game. We know USC can run it. King Miller, he's been that guy for the last couple of weeks. And then Iowa, they got Kamari Moulton. He's been fucking doing his thing. He's one of the top 5 running backs in Big Ten. In my opinion, he's been killing it. But yeah, I don't know how y'all see a 3:30 game. Heavy rain slated, and again, we're gonna see Iowa's defense. It's gonna be another defensive battle. VJ, how you seeing it?
Ooh, it is a mystery because I did not know about the weather thing. Because lopsidedly straightforward, I kind of see this game being like can USC avoid the Iowa like toughness that they have? Because Iowa, once they get in that like toughness state where they just kind of keep the game so gritty, it's so hard to break out. I mean, we saw against Oregon, bro. Like Oregon could not figure that shit out consistently. They had flashes, but nothing was permanent. It was like, bro, that shit kept getting stuffed. Can USC essentially like avoid that? And in my eyes, I just think they don't naturally, but it's game planning for a reason. USC has all levels of fucking positions on offense. You know, good. They have a good tight end, good wide receivers, good running back. And Jaden Mayaba, he can do his thing. So they have all levels on offense to make something happen. But can they like keep it away from that Iowa grittiness? We'll see. How about you, right?
Yeah. Before we even get there, I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I'm picking Iowa. So yeah, I'm locking it in first. But you know, just so don't you copy me. I don't think anybody was going to Iowa anyway. But just to
copy you.
Just so we know. I never said you.
I was gonna pick Iowa.
See, that's why I said it. That's why I said
it. I gotta change it.
Nah, I didn't say you couldn't copy. I'm just saying I don't want to hear Kevin say, "Oh, you copying me now?" Nah. I'm locking it in first. I said it first. So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, hey, bro, I wasn't expecting this to be a rainy game. If it wasn't a rainy game, I probably would have went with USC, bro.
7 mile per hour wind.
Bro, California, they do not deal with rain, bro. I don't know the last time USC.
It's gonna rain the whole week.
I don't know the last time USC better be fucking practicing in the rain, cause you telling me Iowa just came from they lost to 2 in Oregon, bro. This is what Iowa do. Iowa knows this gonna be a rainy game. They're gonna keep this shit close, and honestly, they're not about to let this game slip away from them again. Not again. There's another rainy game, and honestly, USC, I don't know what I mean. Cam said they got a good running offense. I mean, I definitely seen USC get it done through the ground, which is surprising. But because Lincoln Ryan is the head coach. Not saying that's but he's mainly an air raid type of offense. So it's like whenever you see that the game winning by running, it's like, oh wow, it's a little not usual. You see that by a very air raid heavy type of head coach. So yeah. Or being that taking a 7 mile per hour wind, as Cameron said, and it's raining, yeah, but not a lot of. There's gonna be a lot of screen pass, possibly if that maybe a quick slant pass. It's gonna get out the hand quick and try to get it done through the playmakers. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hey, Iowa, they can do this shit. Y'all they dealt with this shit last week. Y'all lost by 2 fucking points, bro. So yeah, Cameron, final thoughts, predictions.
Final thoughts. I wanted to pick Iowa, but I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna be able to pick him now because Brack fucking took But I was gonna go USC regardless, bro. I've been high on this team. King Miller since the Michigan game, 158, 70, 129, 127. Those are all the yards he's had in the last 4 games that he's been able to get 18 or 15 plus carries. And yeah, this guy's a fucking beast, bro. He's a true freshman, 6 foot, 210, from California. And that's who they're gonna rely on to get this win, and I think they're gonna be able to do it, bro. There's not gonna be a lot of gloves I'm expecting from Makai Lemon. It's probably gonna be bare hands catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage or short passes. I don't think they're gonna risk throwing it down the field. But we've seen USC's offense be slow. We've seen that in kind of like the Notre Dame game where Jaden Mayava had his worst game and they weren't able to come out with it. Or no, it wasn't the USC game. It was the win against what team?
Who?
Nebraska. Y'all too slow. But their offense couldn't get going against Nebraska, and it was Jaden Mayava's worst game. He was able to come back during the Northwestern game, but that would be a factor that I would be like, oh, I see why you lean towards Iowa, because we've seen this USC defense or offense get slowed down. Iowa's defense has been shut out this whole year. They played too many teams close, Oregon, Indiana to be precise. And this is just what Iowa's defense does. They love these weather conditions the last 2 weeks in both of their games. Gronowski's supposed to be like this winning quarterback. They haven't relied on him at all, bro. 5 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, bro. Like, that is insane stat line for a super senior, a fucking 5-year senior that's coming from an FCS championship team. And Kamari Moan's pretty good, but I just think King was just used to this, bro. He's had 100-yard games in 3 of his last 4. So let me lean towards King Miller just because he's the better player in the running back game, and this is just what we expect from this game: a defensive game, a defensive-minded game with the running backs being included a lot. VJ,
Score.
what are you gonna?
Man, like I said about like how I reviewed it, it's just the Iowa grittiness, man. It always gets
You
to
didn't
every.
pick it last week.
Bro, it's like the Iowa grittiness, man. They're always gonna keep it there. That's what always like makes it such a close one. So it's tough to regard on what the score is gonna be, even though I do expect it to be a low. But with the conditions, it definitely plays a factor. I did have USC, but I didn't know about the whole rain and shit and all that, so it's definitely gonna get a lot lower. Now, really thinking about the raining and stuff like that, I'm still taking USC, but it's gonna be like 20-17, bro. It's gonna be low.
All right, I was gonna say 2014.
All right, man.
USC.
We got our first chatter in the stream today. Shout out Shimon. W, what's up? You know, we're going to 1 foot in. We are live Thursday. When you guys see this on YouTube, remember 8 p.m. EST. Link in the description. Yeah, VJ, you did your score?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you do yours? I don't remember. Did you do yours?
I didn't do my. I picked just to lock it in before Cam. Like, oh, you copied me? No. But yeah, Cam said score. You said score. Now it's up to me. So yeah, I think I was probably gonna get it done this time. It's gonna be a close game, and I was not gonna let this shit slip. The last 2 teams they lost to is fucking Oregon and Indiana. Those are 2 fucking, you know, at one point, you know, both those teams they had to face each other, and one of them had to lose. If they did not have to face each other, they're probably both undefeated still. So with that being said, I got Iowa 21 and I got USC 17.
All right, good thing to note, bruh. Lane Kiffin been getting his wins, bruh. He been weighing. He been getting these max contracts ready and prepared for the offseason. He gonna have them all lined up. And just, where am I gonna put my paper on? Lincoln Riley's kind of in the same position, in my opinion. There's a lot of rumblings about him being the next big coach that's gonna get this big job that's out there. The coaching carousel is gonna continue on from that after he leaves USC, if he leaves USC. But I think all eyes on him. Not from the media wise, but I think a lot of people are watching how USC plays this last 3 games, and they got Iowa, Oregon, and then UCLA. They control their own destiny. I think if they only have 2 losses, they're going to be the 3rd or 4th Big Ten team that's going to be in the playoffs, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for. But yeah, it happens. Iowa against Iowa, 21. And yeah, I think this game means a lot more than a lot of people think. Because Lincoln Riley really hasn't won anything crazy in USC, and it's kind of like the coaching switch between Oklahoma and USC. Which one's gonna win? It's been a couple seasons now. Who's gonna take like the lead? And both teams absolutely to win, in my opinion. So gonna be a very interesting weekend on that front. But we move on to the game that means nothing to Pittsburgh's head coach, according to him. Notre Dame at number 9, going to Pittsburgh, the 22nd. And yeah, Pittsburgh kind of chose their own destiny, but this game doesn't matter for the Pittsburgh head coach because it's not a conference game. He could lose this game. He said we could lose 100 by 100. They could score 100, and we score 10, and he'll be happy. He'll have a smile on his face leaving that locker room after that loss. I hope they don't lose by fucking 100. That would be crazy. It's gonna be interesting though. 100 is kind of fucking insane for 2025 college football. But it's possible at this point. The way he's talking, because I think as a head coach, you should never say that by any game. Preseason, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how meaningless this is. You want to see a win in that category on your record. But it was interesting. Quarterback play. Mason Heinzel is going to be the quarterback for Pittsburgh. He's kind of the freshman that came out of nowhere for Pitt. And he came in the middle of the season, been doing his thing ever since. And then you got CJ Carr. I think if Pitt comes in with the mindset that they need to stop the run, and they do that a lot, they're going to try to have CJ Carr throw that ball, see if he can throw the ball. I think he can. He has had a couple slip-ups in games where he kind of like The pass game was an afterthought, and he couldn't really get it done over the air. But it is what it is. They got a good receiving core out there for Notre Dame. But Pitt, it's kind of like, are you going to turn and die, or are you going to try to make this competitive, or is it going to be a 40-22 game? Next time you look at the scoreboard in the third quarter or something like that, because that's what Jeremiah Love and Jadaean Price can do with you. Jadaean Price hasn't really been much of an impact the last couple of weeks, kind of really been slow, taking a back seat. Jeremiah Love has obviously been Jeremiah Love, almost at 1,000 yards, one of the best running backs in college football, has fucking 13 touchdowns. It's week 12, fellas. He's averaging more than a touchdown in the game. That's fucking insane, especially with the slow start they had with 2 losses. Wasn't really getting him involved. But yeah, I don't know how y'all see it, but a 9-22 match was pretty good. I'm glad Pitt got ranked this week. And VJ,
hold on. Before VJ start, Shaman said, he was like, why did he say that? Talking about questioning the pick, or why did he say that? And also, the chat is on screen. It's on the little monitor between Cam and VJ. You see that monitor right there? That's where chat pops up. So if you was wondering, but yeah, he was just saying like, why did pick coach say that, Cameron? That
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Like, you better ask him, bro. But the thing is, like, they're kind of using this as like a game where they're not trying to, like, they have 2 weeks left, and if certain things happen, because multiple ACC teams lost last week, if they kind of don't take this game a little serious, they face against a ranked Georgia Tech team, and if they were able to win that, they get in like kind of catapult themselves into the ACC championship, and then they got Miami. Both teams are ranked in the top 20. Georgia Tech 16th and Miami 15th. So I think the mindset is kind of like, let's not beat ourselves up in this game. You know, if we got turnover and die in the middle of third quarter, we're probably going to do that to save ourselves for the ACC games in Georgia Tech and Miami. Those are 2 highest ranked, I think, ACC teams at this point, Miami and Georgia Tech. So it's kind of like, I don't know why he would say that, but I think he's kind of giving a preview of what the game could possibly become at this point. Yeah.
BJ.
Ooh. Man, I mean, I'd hope Pitt has some confidence before the damn head coach went out and just said some stupid shit like that. That, to me, is so wild that he actually, like, essentially just, yeah, we don't gotta worry about this game, you know? It's not a conference. I'm like, buddy, what? This is, like, you gotta, it's win or win. Like, there's a chance that not one ACC team could make it, and you want to talk about this game don't matter. That's crazy mindset in my eyes. So, I don't know. I will give a little bit of like what I've did. I didn't really watch Pitt this year, but they've been scoring every game. I think they have like 30 plus points in all their games they played. I'm pretty sure, which is like, I'm like, that's a pretty good stat line. Like close to 30. They might have one game, I don't know, but I just see a lot of 30 plus like wins for them. I'm like, okay, they got something on offense. Notre Dame though, probably one of the best defenses overall. You know, they probably top 10. Solid team. I watched Notre Dame play. They got Jeremiah Love. He's a dog. Kind of just recapping what Cam's talking about. Like, it really relies on fucking, will Notre Dame have their way, or will Pittsburgh fucking, you know, resist? But the way the coach sound, it looks like Notre Dame is just gonna have their way. So I'm not sure. How about you, Rack?
Yeah, didn't watch. I definitely didn't watch Pitt this year because, like, you know, Pitt, you know, they had their years, but it's like this year, it's like they finally making them for themselves towards the end of the season. But I mean, I watched them this game. You know, we got him out, and I highlight the team. Another thing to point out, seems like it's going to be a raining game in Pittsburgh. So, you know, if anything, this falls in the favor of Notre Dame even more, buddy. Maybe that's why he's seen the forecast. He was talking about, oh, it's about to rain. We're not about to get shit done through the ground. Guess what team? Guess what team is getting it done on the ground? That team over there. So you know what? Let me just, you know, just put this fact out here. You know, if we score 7 points, 10 points, good on us. But they score 100, fuck it, because that's what they do. You know, that's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy for a head coach. You know, imagine committing to a team that, you know, your intention is basically win, build that draft stock, and your head coach is out there like, yeah, we don't need to win this game, but y'all can score some points. That would be fire. You know, that'll be valid. You know, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'll be in line like when looking at my coach like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. We got 2 losses. I'm gonna keep playing like we'll fight for something. I guess he got 6 wins. Like, we ball eligible. We're gonna play for something and then just call it a day. But yeah, seems like it's just gonna be a running type of game. You know, due to rain, probably gonna be the same thing. What I said last game. The last team game we just reviewed with fucking, how the fuck did I just forget, bro? Fucking Iowa and USC, bro. Another running type of game. You know, Notre Dame is always gonna come out doing that shit anyways with fucking Jordan Love. But yeah, Cameron, final thoughts and score predictions.
Yeah, the question with the head coach was stupid because he could have just given a PR answer, bro. He could have just been like, yeah, of course it matters. We're at the end of the season. We need to get our reps in. It's a top 10 team. We got to show our worth for the college football playoffs. He basically fucking showed his true colors, bro. And this is a question that everybody's like, why the fuck would you say that, bro? Everybody like, bro, as a coach, you need to have that mentality. It's fucking November, bro. You playing 3 ranked teams, 3 top 20 teams in a row. So you need to be ready to put it all out there, bro. It doesn't matter if it's non-conference or not. But with that, like, I think I'm with everybody else. I'm going Notre Dame. Like, if Pitt has nothing to lose and their head coach is saying that, fucking, why would I pick them? I could care less. But yeah, Georgia Tech's above them, and next week's gonna matter the most for the head coach. He better say that game matters because Georgia Tech's number 1 in the conference. They're tied for number 1 in the conference, but it's kind of a head-to-head matchup. If either one of them teams win and Pitt is able to beat Miami, then that kind of catapults them into the ACC championship, in my opinion. I don't know how the ACC tiebreaker works, but basically, if Pitt beats Georgia Tech and Georgia Tech takes that loss, that would be the second loss in conference. And I think even if Miami does beat Pitt is still in the ACC championship because it's 2 losses. But a lot of other things got to go right. Virginia's a 1-loss team facing Duke this week, and we're gonna talk about that later. And then SMU's a 1-loss team still. But let me get a 41-20 score prediction for the Notre Dame Pitt game. Yeah, their head coach don't trust him. I don't trust him.
Yeah, Shaman over here saying he must know he be getting fired. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of coaches been getting fired, so shit. I mean, 7-2, doubt it, but yeah. BJ, go ahead.
Dude,
I mean, then again, the fucking team was like, oh, you got 7-2, and you said that shit, yeah, fuck out of here, boom, right on the spot.
Man, I don't know. It's just the Pitt thing is so confusing to me how they put it, man. Because I actually did put a little bit into it when I kind of saw College Game Day was going here. I was like, okay, that's hype. I ain't never seen College Game Day in Pitt. And then Pitt comes, the head coach comes out and said that bullshit. I'm like, never mind. I watched a couple of these games for no reason, bro. It just seemed like they don't want to win. So I'm like, obviously Notre Dame's the easy chance here. I'll just do some I kind of had in mind, but it was like, let me just falter it. I was going to give Pitt around 20. I'm not giving him 20 no more after I heard that shit. I'm probably gonna do 35-10, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's kind of crazy.
Another thing to point out is Notre Dame has to win this game to continue their playoff hopes. Yeah, it's a must-win for them. They lost 2 in the early part of the season, and now it's must-win for them. So they have everything on the line.
Bro, this makes it worse for Pittsburgh. I feel like as a coach, if you know you could just shit on somebody else's season, wouldn't you want to do that? Yes, they're not in your conference. Yes, you probably wouldn't care, but still, just like, if anything, it kind of like give you the chance to possibly like squeeze in. Maybe it's like a 0.1% chance, but still, bro, like, you should try to ruin somebody else's season, bro. I don't know. It's like, if you're not even going to be in that contention anyway, you still fuck somebody else's season. I mean, I feel like that type of mindset of just like, yo, we maybe not saying that like, hey, we're not gonna make it a college football playoff, but hey, we could, do this. Maybe not that type of mindset, but in the sense of just like, hey, we're trying. We know we got 2 losses this season, but that shouldn't matter. This is do or die game for them. It's basically another do or die game for us, regardless, because you want to win every single game, so you should never have the mindset of just like, yeah, fuck it, bro. They're not conference. It seems like they're gonna be in college football. We're not, so fuck it. Let's just have them right away. It's kind of crazy, but that being said, yeah, got Notre Dame. They're probably gonna run the fucking ball straight to the ground, straight to this fucking defense, and they're gonna do nothing, absolutely nothing about it, because their head coach don't give a fuck about it. With that being said, I got it. Let's see. How much point does fucking Jordan Love want to put on their fucking head is the question. Shit.
Jeremiah.
Oh, my fault. My fault, gang. I guess I got it. I give Notre Dame 38. I'll give Pitt. I'll give him fucking 13, bro. Yeah, Pitt's just not gonna do shit.
Yeah, Notre Dame has everything to lose. Pittsburgh has nothing to gain. And yeah, good to know. I think it's gonna be very interesting if Pitt doesn't win any of these games after he said them comments. Yeah, I would fucking want him out of here. In my opinion. So yeah, you better coach your fucking ass off for them conference games, the ones that mean something. But But yeah, let's get into the one eye on part of the podcast. This is a segment where I just take you all around the Power Four teams and the Group of Five. Interesting games to watch out for that could be entertaining. Have conference championship hopes for either team or one team, and then potentially have playoff hopes in mind for that as well. We got a Clemson Louisville game. Louisville is trying to extend a Jeff Brom contract, get that in the works. Jeff Brom has been looked at for the Penn State and Florida job openings. And this guy, I think he came around in 2022, and for the past couple of years, he's been doing his thing out in Louisville, been able to make them relevant again. And not just in basketball, in football. Clemson's been looking good the past couple of weeks, and good on their standards is beating Florida State, making it look good at that point, and losing to Duke by 2-point conversion in overtime. Is what it is. It's kind of a disaster season for Clemson, and I think at this point, if they're able to squeeze out a ranked win, you fucking throw a party, bro. You better be in that locker room all night celebrating that shit, because that's the highlight of your season at this point. No Isaac Brown for Louisville, put at 700 yards, gonna be out for the rest of the regular season, possibly. Miller Moss, Chris Bell, that's gonna be the show, and also Kewan Brown. I think that was his name. He's kind of like the backup to Isaac Brown, and now he kind of took over last game, and they're trying to continue to have the playoff hope for life. Louisville is, and they need to beat Dabo. At least they're at home, but Louisville has lost twice at home. So, yeah. Now we got Minnesota, Big Ten matchup. Also, Friday Night Lights, Minnesota, 3-loss team. Got a short by Iowa a couple weeks ago in the rivalry game. Now take on a pissed off Oregon team. I would be pissed off if we were that close to Iowa, and a lot of people had us getting upset in, and we were able to get it out at the end. I don't know if DeCorian Moore is going to be back, but Dante Moore, still him. Minnesota, Drake Lindsey, IG Boy, one of the top 5 running backs in the Big Ten, and been doing his thing the last couple weeks, and yeah. Okay, Big Ten matchup again. Wisconsin at Indiana. What do we look here? Can Wisconsin's defense kind of slow down Indiana like they have done against Oregon? They didn't do that against Iowa or Ohio State, but can they do that against number 2 Indiana? Can Indiana go back to the ways of just blowing out teams right from the start? Should have a healthy Surratt and Omar Cooper out there, so it should be fun to watch on that side of the ball at least, to see where that matchup goes. South Carolina at Texas A&M. Texas A&M 9-0 on the season, kind of coasting into their playoff wins or playoff berth. Got an SEC championship to worry about, and that last game against Texas to worry about. But before that, they got to go against Lenore Sellers, Nick Harbaugh, South Carolina, new OC for them. They fired him a couple weeks ago, but South Carolina's been able to keep Alabama close. Can they keep Texas A&M close? I doubt it, but I think it's possible. Michigan at Northwestern. Michigan still has a chance to get to the Big Ten championship. It starts with that last game in the regular season and also winning out, being a team like Northwestern. Komalafe, he's been doing his thing in the run game for Northwestern, trying to keep their hopes alive. And if Northwestern can get the win, they go to a bowl game. I think that's a pretty big feat for this team. But yeah, Michigan, they can get a playoff berth I think a 2-loss Michigan team in a Big Ten championship, and even if you lose in the Big Ten championship, I think a 3-loss Michigan team losing to Indiana at that point would be a playoff team. But they would have to also beat that team in the background. I doubt it's going to happen, but, don't make it 5 years, please. USF, number 24 in the country, is supposed to win this American and go to the American championship for the conference and be that 12th team in the playoffs. It starts with Navy, though. You got a 7-2 Navy team that's lost 2 weeks in a row. North Texas, Notre Dame. Basically got their ass beat in both of them. Horvath wasn't in the Notre Dame game, and they kind of just got fucking killed. It's at Notre Dame. So it is what it is, but Horvath should be back. It was like a abdominal or like a chest problem or something like that. Some upper body shit. That's what they disclosed his injury as. Should be back, though. USF... Iron Brown has been doing his thing. As you can see, 2,200 yards passing and 700 yards rushing. Been very underrated. And shout out USF for doing their thing. And now is ranked again. Arizona at Cincinnati. Cincinnati trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. You have to beat Arizona this week. Fafita, I think Arizona could shut Cincinnati's playoff hopes
Sorry.
right here, right now. Because I like Fafita. I like Arizona. They're 6-3. They're not a bad team, and no one's really looking at them to get this upset at Cincinnati. And I'm not thinking it's out the realm of possibility, in my opinion. Because if they beat Cincinnati, that BYU game means nothing to Cincinnati no more. But if Cincinnati can win, Brendan Souza can lead them to a win this week, then that BYU games means everything for them next week. If they're able to beat BYU, they take their spot in the Big 12 championship, and BYU is kind of on the outside looking in. They're going to be a 2-loss team, but it's going to start with you beating Arizona this week. Kansas State at Oklahoma State. What does this mean? I just want to see Jace Brown and Avery Johnson fucking beat up on this team and put up fucking 700 yards together. Yeah, nothing really important about this game because Oklahoma State's ass. Yes, sir. But also Kansas State trying to make the bowl game as well. They got 4 wins. Should be a 5th one right there. Arkansas at LSU. Arkansas has nothing to lose. LSU has nothing to lose. They're trying to get their bowl game. Arkansas is kind of out of the realm of possibility for anything. They just kind of want to like end their time playing these SC games. And Taylor Green is a senior. Gonna go to the draft this year. Potentially be a day 2 pick, day 3 pick. I think he can rise up a lot of draft boards. But he's their old offense, and please get this guy some help. And please learn how to coach. But it is what it is. Arkansas has been doing a lot of things behind the scenes to try to get the next head coach. But that doesn't mean nothing right now. You gotta try to beat up this LSU team. I think if LSU loses this and they become 5-5, it's gonna be I don't know what you do at that point. I ain't gonna lie. You're trying to like take away all this money from Brian Kelly that you owe him, a part of the contract. Your head coaching job doesn't look that much what's it called? Good to be at no more. I think there's a lot of teams that, because you don't want to pay that guy and it's looking crazy in the media, I think a lot of head coaches that are already at schools and got offers from other schools, why would we want to go to LSU? You don't even want to pay your old head coach. West Virginia at Arizona State. West Virginia is on a 2-game winning streak. Their freshman quarterback has been playing way better. The stats don't really look like that. 5 TDs, 4 interceptions is what it is. Cam Vaughn, I like him as a wide receiver, one of the better in the Big 12. But you got Sam Leavitt, Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson might be back, but Sam Leavitt's been out for a while. I don't think he's gonna come back. But you also got what's his name? Fuck. Is it Sims? I'm pretty sure it's Sims that had the crazy game last week. Yeah. You got Jeff Sims. He put up how many yards? 177, and then rushing 228. So don't forget about that guy. He's been doing his thing since taking over. And yeah, you got now Arizona State team facing the West Virginia team. And West Virginia could basically go for a bowl game if they wanted to. They got Texas Tech left. So yeah, maybe throw that out the window, actually. I thought they had a game left. I don't know how you get a bye week in week 13. But West Virginia got a bye week in week 13. That's kind of crazy. Tennessee Tech. 10-0 Tennessee Tech. Come on, let's hype this game up. Tennessee Tech going Eagles.
Let's
going
go.
to Kentucky 4-5.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I don't know what we're doing here, bro. They got a 5% chance, which is kind of crazy. Cutter Bowley. And yeah, I would hope you don't lose this game to Kentucky, but Tennessee Tech is undefeated. I think this will be interesting to watch because I couldn't tell you where Tennessee Tech plays. Let's see who they faced. Davidson, Tennessee State. Wow, Gardner-Webb. The Big South. Yes, sir. The OVC
Damn.
Big South.
The Big South.
Wow.
Man.
Is this fucking FCS? What am I looking at right now? I couldn't tell you. Like, does anybody know? The Big South?
They might be in that same row of like Citadel and all that, somewhere around there. Might be in that same realm. I think they are FBS, but it ain't exactly the best.
I'm not ball nowhere.
This gotta be like Division 2 or some shit. Yeah. Shout out fucking Gutter Bowley. Hopefully he can do it. Yeah, and I think you might need a head coaching change if you lose to Tennessee Tech, in my opinion. But what do I know? North Texas, 8-1. UAB, they were able to beat Memphis earlier this year. Are they going to be able to beat North Texas? I think they're more well-coached and got a better quarterback, but what do I know, bro? I think it could be an interesting game. North Texas trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're kind of like tied for first in the American, but, it kind of is what it is at this point. You got to watch other dominoes fall for you to get a shot at the playoffs. But I think if this team does get in the playoffs, it'll be interesting. I don't know. I think they got the biggest chance to beat somebody. UCF, that trash ass Taven Jackson is going up against Texas Tech defense, and I think this is the last time we should see him, bruh. If he doesn't get injured, he's gonna throw 7 interceptions. Is what it is. Texas Tech is just gonna continue to roll over teams, and this being one of them, it shouldn't be relatively close. UCF should be down 20 at the start of the second quarter. Yes, they scored 20 in the first quarter. Yes, this tab. NC State coming off that upset win against Louisville, was it? Georgia Tech, one of them ranked teams in the ACC. But yeah, NC State. I talk about Bailey a lot. I think he's a great quarterback. No Hollywood Smothers for them. But Miami still has a chance to make the playoffs. They just need to beat the teams they're supposed to beat. NC State's trying to get to a bowl game and trying to ruin Miami's season. So why not do it to them at home for Miami? They're back in Miami after suffering that SMU loss a couple weeks back. And yeah, let's see if they can play like the Miami team that we thought they were at the start of the season. Georgia Tech at Boston College. Yeah, Lonergan, the Alabama transfer, is probably going to get a start for this game. Haynes King and Georgia Tech trying to just bounce back from that loss they took to NC State. And yeah, they're still at the top of the ACC and potentially still get a playoff spot. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just think Haynes King tried to take over that NC State game and did, and then he still lost. So it's like you kind of want somebody else to do it, but are you expecting somebody else to do it? You don't need to when you're facing Boston College. 1-9. Better times are ahead for Boston College, unfortunately. It's not going to be this year. Virginia at Duke. Very interesting game for the ACC. Duke has to win out for the ACC not to really get a team in there, potentially. Nate Shepard, the standout freshman running back, 657 and 7 touchdowns on the year, been helping Darian Mensah in that offense get going. Barcade's a great addition and been doing his thing, 800 yards for him receiving. Against Virginia, Chandler Morris should be back. And yeah, it's basically Chandler Morris. Damn, he got a big ass forehead. But yeah, Virginia still is in the running for the ACC championship, but they do have to take care of their business. They got Duke and Virginia Tech left. I'm pretty sure they only got 2 games left, so their season is closing very rapidly. We got Penn State at Michigan State, 3-6 versus 3-6. I thought it was very interesting. Michigan State got the freshman quarterback. I think they should be starting him again. I would. He looked way better than Aiden Childs. But yeah, Nick Marsh hasn't looked like him. I wouldn't say look like himself. I just expected more from him. But yeah, Penn State really doesn't got a lot going on. Pena's looked better. K-Tron, Nick is what it is. Fucking who's their freshman? Grunkemeyer. Been doing his thing. Looked better, but these is kind of like a look at the future for both of these teams. A lot of these players are not gonna be on our teams next year, but it's gonna start with the freshman quarterbacks for both teams. But while we're talking about Michigan, they got a 3-year probation, 14 wins from 3 seasons vacated. What does that mean? Their head coach hasn't won a Big Ten game now since being there. And yeah, this is coming from I think a couple players on their teams were on the teams that. They had players that were starting in the game when they were facing these teams that wasn't supposed to be there, I guess, and they got penalized for it. Whatever. Doesn't really matter, bro. Michigan State still ass. They've been ass in football since the whole investigation started, fucking in 2017 or some shit, bro. Haven't been the same, unfortunately. And they get 3-year probation. I don't know what this fucking means. Yeah, all 5 wins from last season for Johnson.
I think probation, they can't make no bowl. They could win. They could make bowl eligibility. They can't go. I think that's what it means and stuff like that.
Type shit. Were they ever gonna make a bowl game?
Probably not.
3 years? I doubt it. But they didn't want to do that to Michigan. Whatever, bro. They didn't want to penalize the future and the people that didn't do anything. But 3 players were on their team that wasn't supposed to be on the team. That's stupid. Maryland, Illinois. Illinois they can go to a bowl game. Maybe not what they expected, but yeah, Maryland, you don't got nothing to lose, bro. Please, actually play good football for once, and try to play good football for 4 quarters. It's very tough for them to do. It's like an impossible challenge. But yeah, do I expect much from this game? I expect Maryland to try to contend with Illinois at the very least. Please, you lost 5 in a row. You're 1-5 in Big Ten play. Please, holy shit, I'm begging for them to play good football. Holy shit. Okay, Memphis, East Carolina. We talked about East Carolina last week, being that 1-loss conference team at the bottom that I haven't watched at all. But this is a big game for Memphis' sake, because Memphis is right below them. If they get East Carolina a second loss, what does that really do? It bumps Memphis up, and it basically has Memphis still watching from the outside. They got to watch all these 1-loss teams try to lose again. impossible feat, but after Memphis lost that Tulane game, their kind of playoff hopes was kind of out the door, unfortunately. New Mexico State versus the Tennessee Volunteers, the ranked Tennessee Volunteers. Why are we facing New Mexico State, the Aggies, in the middle of fucking November? Come on, bro. This is what the SEC does? Come on, bro. And you gave them a 1% chance to win? 1.0. Insane. Do we expect much from this game? Probably not, bro. New Mexico beat UCLA, though. Didn't they? No? It must have been other trash team. It was like UNLV, I think. It was one of them fucking corner states. Anyways, North Carolina. North Carolina's 4-5, bro. They could beat this Wake Forest team. I think they could beat this Wake Forest team with the way Gio Lopez has been playing. Demon June been playing. He didn't play good last week, but this week I expect a little bit more out of him. Wake Forest is kind of like a tough team to look at because they keep a lot of teams close and was able to pull out a couple wins. 6-3 on the season. North Carolina could be 5-5 in Bill Belichick's first season at least. I think that's good. But yeah. Just take a look at North Carolina's last couple games. They ended up losing that overtime game to Virginia, but they beat Syracuse, they beat Stanford, they beat the teams they're supposed to beat at least. But yeah, I think this North Carolina team has taken a lot of great steps and has got a lot of good players to jump off the stat sheet in the last couple of games. And I think Bill's kind of like getting his way, moving around a little bit more loosely with the play calling and just the way he views his team now. I think it took great steps, and they're now 4-5. They could potentially make the playoffs, right? I mean, not playoffs. Whoa, bowl game. Duke and NC State. It's gonna be tough, but I think a miracle win against NC State could happen. Florida at Ole Miss. Man, DJ Lagway start. I would hope so. Jaden Ball is him. They lost like 3 wide receivers, bro. I don't know what the fuck this team got going on. But DJ Durkin. He's trying to like keep that job as a Florida State's head coach. He's the interim head coach right now, offensive coordinator. So hopefully he can stay on his team and kind of just get paid, bro. Get paid and continue to like try to grow with this program. If they do luck out on Lane Kiffin or Lincoln Riley or James Franklin or all these names. But yeah, they're just trying to find some hope. Florida is and play a little bit close to Ole Miss and see if Ole Miss can just have some of these like, I guess, growing pains or maybe these outside factors of the Lane Kiffin. And it looks like Lane Kiffin might be facing the team he might be coaching next year. I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of a lot of outside noise for Ole Miss right now. And if they could block that out and just continue on, they should easily be in the playoffs. Utah at Baylor. Baylor's a good team, man. Michael Trigg, Sawyer Robertson. Sawyer Robertson could be like a day 2 pick in the draft later this year. I think he's been playing real good. One of the highest passing yards for a quarterback this year, maybe leads the nation. I haven't checked that stat in a couple weeks, but he up there, 2,700 yards. Opposite of Devin Dampier. Devin Dampier, I want to say two-way, but uses his feet and his arms to throw. 1,500 passing yards. No longer leads the team in rushing, surprisingly. But yeah, Utah is trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They need to continue to win, and yeah, need to make sure they don't drop one at Baylor at night. Purdue at Washington. Washington, no playoff hopes anymore. I think after taking that loss to fucking Wisconsin, let's see how ass they are. Can fucking Brownie throw and will this team to a fucking third win of the season, 0-7 in Big Ten play? I think Washington, if they continue to play like this ass, I think it could really expose them. We talk about Jonah Coleman, Denzel Boston, Damon Williams. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think if Damon Williams, if he really wanted to, he could transfer. But hey, maybe I'm talking too loosely. Maybe that's just out the realm possibility. But I think it's possible. Denzel Boston going to the draft later this year. Jonah Coleman, one of the best Big Ten running backs in the conference. UCLA at the Buckeyes at Ohio State. Night game. Going to be a little hot game for Ohio State's sake. We talked about this on the Buckeye Fan Film Room. Drops every Tuesday. Record every Monday. We already went over this in more in depth. Got score predictions, all of the above. A more extensive breakdown of both teams. And you can go find that out. I think 2 or 3 videos back. So just go look for that. Virginia Tech at Florida State. Battle of the Maroon Colors in the ACC. Virginia Tech, not a lot going on. They fired their head coach pretty early in the season. Got 3 wins. Had a couple wins after the firing, being Wofford and NC State and California. So shout out them for getting their 3 wins after. Cal just beat Louisville. Remember that. NC State beat who was it? Georgia Tech. Come on now. They beat teams before they got their big upset win. And now they're going to face Florida State. Florida State's fucking ass. We know that. LLLLL. 1W to Wake Forest, and then you lost to Clemson. So, yeah. Throw the whole season out the window. Throw Mike Norvell to the curb. Throw his money at him, too, while you at it. And moving on to the SEC. We got Mississippi State at Missouri. I think it's going to be an interesting game. We got a unranked Missouri team finally. And, yeah, it's Ahmad Hardy. It's gonna be the new quarterback trying to just go against the veteran Blake Shapen or Kamari Taylor at this point. I don't know who they're gonna start because Blake Shapen I think got benched or maybe he was injured. I forget what happened. But yeah, they got that going on. Mississippi State is a good team in SEC. They maybe 1-5 in the SEC, but they're still a decent SEC team that could upset a team like Missouri that has a backup quarterback starting for them now. TCU. It's the last game we're going to talk about. TCU at BYU. BYU, we talk about that next week game against Cincinnati. Well, they got to get through TCU first. That air raid offense, I don't want to call it an air raid offense, but Josh Hoover could throw that ball. Eric McAllister is like top 10 in, I think, receiving yards in all of college football FBS. And, yeah, he's been their number one for the past couple weeks and has, I think, been putting up like 100 yards, averaging like close to 100 yards every game since then. It's going to be 10-15 games, so you're going to have to stay up real late for that one. But yeah, I think TCU could upset BYU, and this could be like a train wreck for them if Bear Bachmeier doesn't come back to his true self and maybe doesn't get PTSD from the Texas Tech game last week. Now moving on to the news part of the show, we talked about a couple news segments during the games, but Colorado, I think they're on vacation, they're on bye weeks. But Colorado's Rick George, the guy that hired Deion Sanders, is now stepping down as AD in, I think, June. And, yeah, what this really means, Colorado really hasn't been good this season. And I think, I think a lot of bigger things could be happening for him. I'm not saying Deion's out the door. But, yeah, when an AD stepped down, that's kind of a very serious thing for the college football program. What do y'all think, though?
I think this is actually kind of like a sign, like you just said, kind of like a sign where the door opens to where, Deion can't keep working with them. Doors closed now. The door might be open a little bit. I'm not saying it like you just said a little bit. Essentially, you don't have to truly worry that it's not going to be like you're done. Yep, you're gone, buddy. But it's like
that magnifying glass is on you now.
Yeah, like I say, not now people can look through that crack now. Like the door ain't closed no more. You could see a peek in here and there. So it definitely opens the door. I mean, overall for the future, we'll see what happens. Cause I mean, this is kind of just a foreshadowing step in a sense. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. When Deion Sanders, came take this job out of Colorado, I'm like, oh shit, let's see what he could do. I doubt he would do much. Then he actually got some win. I got mid-season here and then for sure last year was like his best year, right? Right? Yeah, best year. Last year.
Are we talking?
I thought it was Sanders' first year. I mean, we could just do it.
Nah,
I don't remember what year.
First year, I think he went like 4-8.
Yeah,
that's the year where Travis Hunter was injured.
Anyways, whichever year he had a good year, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna build off of this shit. Colorado looked promising. We could expect. Yeah, damn, that's
8-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that first year, that first season, yep.
Yeah, last year, bro.
But they made it seem like he turned our program completely around in 2023. That's why I thought they got more wins.
Well,
they got more wins in 2022. 2022,
like 3. They got like 3 more wins, bro. I thought he turned the whole program around. I thought he was like bowl eligible. Yeah, last year was definitely his best year.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like after this year, I was like, oh shit, he might be able to build on top of this. Maybe not get the exact same record, but basically be around there. For them to be where they are now, it's kind of shocking, bro. It's like, damn, bro. And it's probably why that athletic director stepped down. Like, oh shit, that hype is gone now. You don't have his son. You don't have Travis Hunter. You didn't have that 5-star recruit. Even though they picked up Juju Lewis, and they still get decently good recruits, but just like, I guess like, I don't know, maybe the new era of like the transfer portal, he can't really hit the transfer portal correctly. Like he trying to find them parts, but it just seemed like they just, I mean, who was it? Caden Salter, right? Is that the guy who's fucking trash?
Liberty.
Yeah. So it was like they
He's not trash, bro. He played good at Liberty, bro. He just plays bad at Colorado.
Exactly.
Bro, I blame this coaching staff, bro.
Yeah,
They don't know
yeah.
how to develop talent and use them
It's
correctly.
weird. I
Yeah.
agree. It's definitely the staff is just kind of weird. They also don't got. In my eyes, I don't see depth too. Colorado just don't have that
Yeah.
depth. For
It seemed like Colorado had just like, if you come with the talent, we could build off the talent. But they can't develop, bro. It's just like, oh, you look good here, but you're not a 5-star recruit. So it's like, how much can you really do? Well, we as a coaching staff can only go with talent. So if you're not a 5-star, we're probably just gonna waste your talent if you come over here. So that just seems like what Colorado is. If you're a high star, 5-star, 4-star recruit, we could do something. If you're anything under in that transfer portal, I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna take the chance, but you're not gonna get developed over here because we're just gonna waste your talent away because we just can't develop. So yeah.
I think this AD moves means that they're gonna look at that coaching staff and be like, Dion, yo, bro, this defense is fucking ass. Can we do something about this? And it's the fact that they're not about to match their wins when Dion was first there. He was supposed to come to rebuild the program, not take them back to the fucking 2022 days. We're talking about, bro, 53-7, 52-17. Bro, teams should not consistently be putting up fucking 50 points on you, bro. That should be a once in a lifetime fucking, not a once in a season type thing, bro. And the fact that they've been through 3 quarterbacks, I think that's the most alarming part. You had Juju Lewis at the start of the year, and he's looks like he's been the best quarterback since he's got the starting job. And I think, bro, as a Big 12 team or a Power 4 team, you should not be going through your 3rd quarterback. Like West Virginia had a 2 quarterback battle going into the middle of the season. I thought that was crazy. Or I said West Virginia. West Virginia had that problem, and they just lost to West Virginia, and they got their freshman quarterback, and you had this freshman quarterback ready to go, and y'all said he wasn't ready. And what the fuck? I want to know what the fuck changed in the last like 6 games where now he gets to start. Like that's what's most alarming with me. Dion kept saying, this team, we know what direction we're going in. Well, I know who's starting for me, and it's going to be Ryan Staub. And then he started for 2 games, and then it was fucking back to the bench with you. And Caden Salter's going to go out there for 4 games and struggle and have his good moments here and there. But I think the biggest thing was fucking this BYU game. They lost by 3 to BYU. TCU, they lost by 14, but it was a close 14. But they finally got their Iowa State victory and won by 7, and then had that bye week. They came back out the bye week, 53-7, 52-17. Bro, they celebrated with young boy in the locker room, fucking playing and shit, bro. They finally got that ranked win and celebrated like it was a fucking championship. And I just think Dion just feeds into that shit and lets these YNs on this team just go crazy, bro. And now you let the leash go too long, and now it's like you can't reel them back in, and then you get blown out back-to-back weeks. But once at home, by the way, and then you go on the road, get beat by Arizona, and then this struggling West Virginia team, you get outplayed by a freshman quarterback as well. You're Deion Sanders, buddy. You're supposed to figure this shit out. You're supposed to have a crazy coaching staff that you brought along with you, and you're losing to West Virginia. Like, I think, bro, you barely beat this Delaware team. This Delaware team was playing you close until halftime, and you finally was able to win. Like, bro, all these losses, you could say they're good teams, bro. Yo, it doesn't matter, bro. You're supposed to be Colorado. You're supposed to be the Buffs. You're supposed to be someone that's challenging for the Big 12 championship every single year. And now, without your son, without this 5-star, the number 1 player in his high school class, now you're looking like you're back to your normal selves, bro. You might have to go back to Jackson State, bro. Like, it just is what it is, bro. You can't hang with the big dogs, bro. I'm telling you, it starts with the coaching staff, because, bro, it's so crazy to me that Jordan Tyson was on this team last year, and now he's almost the number 1 wide receiver going into this draft. I know he got injured, but, bro, why the fuck did I didn't know that, bro? You had the talent. You had fucking Colton Hood on your team. He's like a top 3 cornerback going into this draft now, and you let him walk in fucking transfer portal. Like, bro, you have people that you have the players, you have the talent around you, bro, and you're not putting the W's up on the board, bro. So people are gonna care about that, especially around this program, the one that you rebuilt, gave some swagger to, is filling out stadiums for, got the whole culture behind you. You gotta get wins, buddy. You gotta get wins. You got 3 wins, and you got 2 games that you're not gonna be favored in, but I think you could beat the Kansas State team though. But yeah, the firing of the AD is, I think, something that's like the calm before the storm, and I think it's gonna start with that coaching staff. And if Deion's gotta understand that he's gotta let some people go, bro. That loyalty is cool until you're not producing, and now you gotta cut people off and tell people to hit the rocks or minimize their role now. And I just think with a 3-7 start to the season and damn near end of the season, you're gonna end with 3 wins and no bowl game to show for it. I think is very apparent. 15th in the Big 12, bro. It's sad, but it's reality. Arkansas. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Named a college football chair. Utah's Harlan returns. I don't know who that is either. But basically you had Baylor's AD. I think he was on the college football committee. He basically stepped down for personal reasons, and now you got Arkansas's athletic director jumping in. And I think Utah's athletic director, Harlan, jumping in the committee. I just think it's weird to have a committee change in the middle of, like, it's the second week, bro. Like, personal shit happens, but, yo, that just seemed crazy to me. What do y'all think? Anything crazy?
It's wild because it's like, it's more concerning in the sense of, okay, if one person steps down, you got to get someone to replace. I get that. It's a trade-off, essentially. The fact that you have to bring another guy in, though, what the hell? What type of committee is this, bro? We adding more people in the committee out of nowhere? Like, what was the decision for that?
It said has formally approved the return of Utah Athletic Director Mark Harlan to its selection committee and named current committee member and Arkansas Athletic Director its new chair. Like, what does that mean? This news comes after Baylor AD and selection committee chair Mac Rhodes took a leave of absence from his job for personal reasons and a university investigation. Amid a university investigation, what the fuck got going on over there?
Hey, getting them sketchy business. This might be out of my realm right here.
No, it's not personal business. He trying to feed the country, bro. Trying to get out of college football real quick.
Hey man, hey, who knows? But it's just kind of weird how the timing of you reinstate the dude back. Like what the hell was this mistake earlier?
Who the fuck is on this committee, bro? This committee looking a little sketchy, bro. The committee head in investigations.
Majority of the committee is like current ADs and stuff like that. So it's like, whatever it is, obviously it is, but the fact that, you know, we're reinstating motherfuckers back into this. What is that? What did he get? What did he do beforehand to get out? So like, I don't know. It's just, to me, that it is kind of weird, but I mean, it's not much I can see. Obviously, I'm not in that fucking room. I can't fucking judge that shit. But from the outside in, it just sounds so sketchy. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I honestly don't got nothing, man. If anything, it just sounds crazy, bro. It's just like, basically what y'all already said, bro. It's like, you telling me he wasn't there, now you reinstating him, but like, why wasn't he there? Now it's like, now you're adding. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, it just sounds crazy to me. It's just like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think they would, you know, for them to be, you know, a college football committee, they would be. I feel like they would have their lockdown people. Obviously, you know, when personal things happen, you know, life situations happen, I get that part, but then, you know, you go do this other stuff. It's just like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. It look crazy from the outside looking in, but who knows what the reason is. But I'm really not too informalized in this, you know, wherever the fuck this is, bro. So yeah, college football committee, just keep doing the right things, I guess, bro, for whoever you want, but you know, don't got fucking, you know, Texas at #1 or some shit, bro. We good, bro.
The allegations do not involve Title IX, student welfare, or NCAA rules, and do not involve the football program, indicating it is a separate incident from Rhodes' alleged altercation with a football player during a September game.
Ah, shit.
What?
I don't know. Just like I said, just hearing that just sounds sketchy. It's just sketchy.
It says the allegations do not involve the NCAA rules, student welfare, and Title IX.
Yeah, which means it's personnel, which are, if it's personal, then it's obviously the I'm assuming for it to be this serious, it has to go some way somehow into like a courtroom, some way somehow. If it's this serious, so
it says that the university received allegations involving Rhodes on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Is my
other shit going on.
Sounds sketchy. Yeah, sounds sketchy, man.
Oh. New committee in the middle of the fucking rankings. Nice, bro. Nice. Ohio State's 2 next week. We know why.
No cap, bro. We know why for sure, bro. That is crazy, bro.
Utah and Arkansas.
Alrighty. I mean, with that being said, we good, right?
Believe so.
Nothing to say. I mean, I guess
What's
that's
your favorite game for this week, y'all? What y'all watching? What y'all making a priority other than?
I feel like, bro, it has to be that Texas game for me. Obviously, for me, it's easily
whatever the
Texas.
7:30 one was, bro. Because I mean, Saturday gonna be a little busy. Whatever
True.
the 7:30 game is, the first game I could only truly watch, apart from obviously Ohio State, but
Texas, Georgia.
yeah, that one. Yeah, that's it. Whatever that 7:30 is. Yeah, that's probably the only true one. And the 10 o'clock one. I forgot which one you just said.
BYU, TCU.
Yeah, I'll probably watch that one because BYU just I kind of want to see what they're gonna like cook up after a loss and then see how they go into next week versus Cincinnati. So
I'll be interested in the Virginia Duke game.
that is a good
ACC.
one too. The ACC thing, yeah.
Yeah, see how that shit goes.
Maybe NC State, Miami.
Hey,
Also, don't be
boy.
surprised all of a sudden the NC State get upset. I'm just saying. I wanted to say
I'm about to say,
while you was going through it.
Now y'all on NC.
NC
Now y'all
State.
on NC State's dick, bro.
The NC State.
I'm not
I've
on
been
this
telling y'all
dick.
about them, bro.
I know you
Telling
always
y'all about them.
you always
that
say
quarterback, right?
yeah, Chloe
Yup.
Bailey, right? That name?
Chloe,
Oh, I don't know, bro. I forgot the name.
fuck.
Something Bailey, bro. I think.
Like CJ Bailey. I don't know.
CJ Bailey.
Nah. I knew it started with a C.
Bailey.
Yeah, you always talk about him.
From
You like,
Miami. Come on now. He from Miami.
and who he throw to in high school?
And he going home.
Who did he throw into high school? Oh, Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith.
2 times in a row.
And
Number
they-
4.
That-
Number 1 overall pick in the 2027 draft.
Never heard of him.
Wow.
You're living on a fucking rock. Alright. But yeah. I guess that we're gonna wrap it up here. Live every Thursday. Don't forget, link in the description if you guys are interested and want to talk about Buckeye Fan Film Room, the Plot Armor Podcast, whichever you want to talk to, pull up. Link in the description as always. But other than that, been the One Foot In Podcast. Thank you, VJ. Thank you, Cameron, for your, college football analytical thoughts and all that shit. But other than that, if you guys are new to the channel, consider clicking that subscribe button as it help out the channel. But also, since you're already down there, consider clicking that like button as well. But other than that, we appreciate all the love and support. We'll catch you next. Peace. That's done. Yeah, now let's let me go fucking figure out this fucking other bullshit they got going on, bro. Gotta help Chuck, gotta do the fucking bio shit. Let's see if I can do it so that I can teach you how to do this shit, bro. There's a whole bunch of fucking shit, man. But I definitely.
I'm gonna go try to figure this shit out too.
Yeah. Alright, brother.
Safety.
What you about to do, VJ?
I'm about to head upstairs.
I
I gotta
bet.
go check on this behemoth upstairs.
Alright, bet. Sound good. Alright, gang.
Alright, I'll take care, man.
Peace. You too. Yeah, short stream. I got things to do. I'll probably be live later in possibly 2 hours. It turns to 10 p.m. If Call of Duty drop in 2 hours, hopefully I can get this bio shit done. I'm back live and we're gonna get rock and rolling again. But yeah, I'll just catch you guys later. Maybe if it's live. If not, you catch me tomorrow when the game's actually officially live and we're gonna be locked in. So yeah, catch y'all on possibly night tomorrow. Peace. Sorry. Terrible streamer, and yeah.